Hello, and welcome back to Final Fantasy 15. I'm finally getting around to playing episode Ardyn. Ardyn, who of course was, in my opinion, one of the standouts of Final Fantasy 15. I know a lot of people didn't like the game, and that's fair enough, opinions are opinions, but for me, the short-changing in terms of character development for Luna and Ardyn were my two big negatives for this, and I was very much looking forward to the final spate of DLC where we got a little bit of extra about Luna, Ardyn, and so on and so forth. Obviously that didn't happen. That hasn't happened. That will not be happening, although I believe they're still trying to find some outlet for it. I haven't really looked into it recently. We have, however, got episode Ardyn, and it's been out for a while now. I just haven't had the chance to play it because, you know, Sekiro got in the way. So I am playing this post Sekiro. It will obviously come out, these episodes will come out well before the Sekiro series finishes. There's 45 episodes in that. Let's get into it. It's obviously been an awfully long time since I've played any Final Fantasy 15 at all. So I'm probably not going to be very good. Having turned the Empire to shambles and shrouded the world in darkness, Ardyn, erstwhile healer of those who ailed, now sits atop the Lucian throne denied him by the crystals from 2 millennia ago. So we're starting at the end. Let's see.
Long ago, there lived a man, blessed by the gods and revered by the people as their savior.
That us.
His name was Ardyn Lucis Kylum, and he was to have served as the first king of Lucis.
But shit happened. Hi, gang. Ooh. No. It's a special effect. It's supposed to do that. And back we go.
Tension between the two countries remains high, with neither nation showing signs of backing down.
So we're going back a few years. So this will be...
Patrol has been reported MIA since sometime before dawn this morning. The missing officer has been identified as 28-year-old Mars Sapientia. Although Officer Sapientia allegedly reported for duty at his appointed time, fellow officers say he disappeared soon after and has not been sighted since. Officer Sapientia is a tall, fair-skinned male and was last seen wearing his Border Patrol fatigues. Anyone with information on Officer Sapientia's whereabouts are requested to contact the Crown City Police immediately. And now a word from the Public Information Bureau. Today marks the anniversary of the founding of the Kingdom of Lucis. The Founders Day Committee has prepared a number of attractions in honor of this auspicious occasion, including a parade around the Citadel as well as a statue of the Founder King himself. All are welcome.
Still a very pretty game.
Participate in today's festivities. This has been a message from the Public Information Bureau.
What about you?
Now, on to the weather.
Shouldn't you be looking for your buddy?
Today in the Crown City, we expect mild
Clearly.
weather with nothing but blue skies.
I'm on
The
special
Borderlands
assignment.
may experience some inclement weather, starting in the evening and continuing throughout the night. That concludes today's news and weather.
So are we going to get to play as Ardyn in his Ardyn outfit? Just in case you didn't know who he was. Ardyn Lucis Kylum. Home sweet.
Sweet home at last.
Welcome to the Founders Day Festival. In a moment, the parade will begin making its way through the city.
Return of the Saviour.
To participate in the festivities, circling the Citadel alongside the statue of the Founder King, Somnus Lucis Kylum.
Well, I guess I've always liked Ardyn's walk. Which is a good job, actually, because that's what we can do. We have no controls other than walk and take a look around. So this is making a bit more use of Bavel. Making a bit more use.
This is the city's somnus build.
Oh, is this the first time Ardyn's been here?
Flesh and blood. Just look at them, free of care and unaware of the war beyond their wall.
It should be noted that I don't have the high-res texture pack installed. I suspect that's actually making a difference.
Vehicular access will also be limited in some areas around the Citadel for the festival's duration. In addition, traffic will be stopped entirely during the parade. We thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome.
What need is there to worry when brick and mortar blinds them to the suffering outside?
I love
Why
crowd
venture
scenes
out
in
into the
games.
world when you feel so safe within? What a life to live.
Yeah, I like crowd scenes in games because you get to play Spot the Duplicates. Hi, friends. No. Oh, a thing? What's this?
This is the statue of the Founder King? I see the sculptor took quite a few liberties.
Yeah, so this must be the first time that Ardyn has ever been to Insomnia.
And that must be the king's castle.
Yes. One day you shall sit on the throne there. Does nobody point out the fact that Ardyn is wearing an incredibly different kind of outfit to everybody else?
Now, let the fireworks begin!
That didn't work. There we go.
Cursed be the waving wings of the gods.
So this is where he ba ba ba. Hello, Ifrit. The Tale of the Fallen King, Prisoner of Fates. It'll be interesting to see how smoothly this story is actually told. The year is ME734. Spirits are high in the Crown City as all of Insomnia prepares to celebrate Founders' Day. Yet the citizens... Chapter 1. Is this going to be a 3-act thing? Darkness Awakens. Hi.
Ardyn.
Hi.
Oh, Ardyn. You can't expect me to believe that.
Oh, but I do. You have my word.
Well, in that case...
Is this young Ardyn? Tis.
You look exhausted, my love. Are you
Era
alright?
Mirus Fleuret.
I am. The gods bless me with a power and a purpose to cure people of what ails them. I must see their will be done.
So she is a
Your devotion shall not go unnoticed.
distant
The
relative
gods will
of
doubtless
Luna,
be watching over you,
which is why she's got a very similar face.
just as I shall be watching over you every step of the way.
So is that why Ardyn chooses Noctis as his
Seems
particular?
to me the cure for your exhaustion is comprised of 2 things, one of which is rest.
Oh? And the other?
Is me.
Oh.
Oh, Era, pray be with me, always.
Alas. Oh dear. Angel Guard. Oh. 7:21. So this is when he was found. His beard hasn't grown very much, considering how long he's been imprisoned.
He's alive.
For style! Oh!
Just as the ancient texts told.
Is for style the old guy? The scientist?
Take him away.
That turns into a... see, it's been so long I've actually forgotten. Hey, I can look around. Walking simulator. Ooh, the moon is high.
Don't touch me.
He's infected.
Status report. Everything is fine here.
It's not gonna be for long.
We'll transport the subject to your location.
And we'll have the medical team ready as planned.
Why are they wearing shorts? This doesn't strike me as particularly good armor design.
What's the situation over there?
Nothing to report. We're just...
What's going on? Ah, it's the glaive.
Adagium sighted!
Oh, hi.
Adagium.
Get it back in the cell, no matter what. We can't let that thing off this island.
Well, that shouldn't be particularly difficult because...
Seize this. Seize this.
At once!
Ardyn enters overkill when his HP falls to 0. While in this undying state, his attacks deal more damage, but his maximum HP falls every time he takes a hit. Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah. Right. Press X to attack with your arsenal of royal arms. Hold X to blitz the enemy with consecutive attacks. Didn't there used to be a way of locking on? Ah, it's that. Such power. Predictable. So this is just a combat tutorial. Oh no, he has a crossbow. Left bumper to dodge incoming steps, attacks even. Hold.
Out of my way! Disappear! Nothing.
I've forgotten how the combat works. Don't know whether there's a cooldown on that. Land 5 successive strikes to perform a finisher and create an opening to demonify the enemy.
Too slow.
Enough!
Ooh. When an enemy is vulnerable, press B to demonify them and harvest their life force. Strategy!
What sins must I atone?
They've got Catruagos!
Could they be? Yes.
Ardyn's in good shape for having been locked up for so long.
I didn't purge him of the scourge. I bestowed it upon him. Incredible. That was unbelievable. Hey.
So his power has reversed. Yeah, Vestar is the Magitech research guy. He's the scientist. Is he the one that creates the clones of Prompto? Chapter 2, Illusory Truth. So it's not going to be a 3-act structure unless these acts are very small. Error. Room for error. Somnus.
Somnus.
Forgive me, brother, but the throne seats only one.
Whoa.
Gods, no.
This isn't where this happens. Nightmare. Nice ankle boots.
Ardyn Azunia, Chief Besithia would like to see you.
So where are we going to find out where the Azunia name comes from? He looks a bit weird in cargo pants, if I'm honest. Right, give me things. Journals. Journals.
Nothing here to interest me.
Don't say that. How do I pull up the data log? Archives. Right, Chief Besithia's Journal 1, Demons. I was but a boy when I saw my first demon. A wild canine ran afoul of the Plasmodia. The fear that should have consumed me was itself engulfed by an intense excitement. Much like the dark miasma that spreads across the land and blots out any trace of light or life. Some might deem me a madman, vilifying me for researching a wicked plague that brings naught but death. However, be it the magic technology of old or the demons of our day, understanding that which we fear is a vital step towards enlightenment. The Star Scourge. The plague that ravaged our star centuries ago died out for a time, and with it went all knowledge of the monsters it spawned. Yet since the discovery of a mutant strain of Plasmodia here on our very soil, that ominous word has re-entered our lexicon. Demon. What caused the scourge to resurge? I hypothesised that it began with the rise of our population that began in the latter half of this millennium. While the adoption of magic technology has vastly improved life for citizens across the Empire, the territorial expansion it enabled may also have reactivated Plasmodia that remained dormant for many years. If so, then the true spread of the Star Scourge may have only just begun. Rakshasa Blade, a sword that has stayed at Ardyn's side for roughly 2,000 years, flying forth at his command. One half of a pair, the Rakshasa Blade was forged alongside the blade of the mystic, beloved glaive of Ardyn's younger brother Somnus. Both blades possess different properties, forming a devastatingly destructive arsenal when wielded together. While one can assume both swords were imbued with the hope that the brothers Kylan would rule in tandem, envy and ambition ultimately tore the two apart. Looks like there's quite a few data logs to be trying to find. Don't know whether I will. Don't know whether we'll find all of those in this playthrough. Hi. Corridors.
I dare say this outfit wasn't tailor-made.
No, it looks a little bit baggy. Check. So this is the Shiva. This is where Shiva was. Muscle stimulants.
Not the most enthralling view.
This is is this before the Glacium was killed? The journal. No, that's still the wrong button. Adagium. Although I long dismissed it as some foolish fairy tale, the recent discovery of an ancient text tucked away in one of the kingdom's royal tombs has convinced me Adagium is real. According to the tome, this unhuman entity born of the darkness has lived in the shadows of Angelgard for some 2 millennia. Perhaps the Lucians feared its supposed superhuman strength and potential for destruction. Yet to let such power go untapped would be incredibly wasteful. The military may have scoffed at us researchers for the lack of tangible progress on our Magitech infantry and demonic studies, but if we harvest this immortal monster and harness the secrets it holds, we may indeed laugh last. Love the fact that they've got classical music playing. Because of course they have.
Come, have a seat.
He does look, again, quite a bit like a young Prompto. Or a bit like Prompto, who is, of course, a clone.
Gods above, we thank you for the bounty you have laid before us.
Don't want your food getting cold, do you?
Shows Ardyn as a...
Are you enjoying your
pious
stay?
Individual.
No.
And honest.
You've been asleep for years. Learning to appreciate the waking world will take time. Perhaps I can help enlighten you while we dine.
He's got a very deep voice. Doesn't quite match his face. The style. What is the time?
How long has it been since you brought me here?
204 days. Roughly 7 months or so. Then again, the Lucians had you locked away in that prison for nearly 2 millennia. I'd be more surprised if you hadn't lost all concept of time. You must loathe those Lucians for what they did to you.
Ask about the food. Yeah, high priority conversational topics.
Food?
Meat, cloned in this facility.
Cloned?
We cultivated somatic cells, used them as donors to fuse the nucleus transplant cells to the recipient oocytes, and then we...
Enough. I've no ear for the ramblings of a lunatic.
Ask about motives. Hopefully we'll get to explore all 4 of these.
What is it you want from me, anyhow? What about me interests you so?
You said it yourself, didn't you? You were chosen by the gods. And frankly, with powers like yours, I'd say you're nearly a god in your own right.
I talk
We
really
need
deeply.
those powers that you possess.
For what?
With your strength on our side, we could finally put an end to the gruesome war with Lucis. You too must desire the fall of the kingdom that cast you into exile.
My desires are all in the past.
Literally.
The man who wronged you may have died long ago, but his descendants live on to this day. Surely you must bear them some feelings of ill will.
He's a bit blunt, isn't he, Versailles?
My feelings are none of your concern.
No. I am in fact not going to
Come
explore
along.
all of them. Flesh fortifier. Yes, this is just the way that we couldn't get to a second ago. Ardyn's swagger is always impressive. I like the little bit of greenery.
This is the fruit of my labor. A small portion of it, that is.
I feel like this should be familiar. Were we here before?
A human life is too short to truly understand all there is to know about the world. Go on, have a look. Do watch your step, won't you?
Oh. That light is green, but the door will not open. Right, let's do some research. Demons.
Demons were first officially recognized as a new species roughly 200 years ago. According to ancient texts, however, humans have suffered from a parasitic plague wrought by the demons for upward of 2 millennia. Demonification is caused by a mutant strain of plasmodia that takes root in living creatures and changes their cellular structures.
Yes. Demonification via science.
Disperse miasmal particles, the spread of which is known as the Star Scourge.
Interestingly enough, Final Fantasy 15 is basically a cosmic horror game. It just doesn't have much in the way of horror elements for the majority of it. It's alien things coming down in a big meteorite and infecting the planet.
This model is a replica made from plaster poured into a demon-shaped cavity discovered deep underground. Demons sublimate when their vital functions cease, so this particular specimen must have vaporized after the mud around it had already solidified. Scientists believe this subject burrowed into the earth in order to shield itself
they
from the
are
light of the
allergic
sun.
to sunlight. New information has been added to the data log. The journal? No, that's the wrong button still. Next to godliness. I've made a discovery both startling and astounding. The monster known as Adagium is none other than Ardyn Lucis Chiron, older brother to the founder king of Lucis. Words cannot describe the sense of elation that enveloped me knowing that I was able to converse with a creature who has lived for hundreds of years. His powers do not cease to amaze. Not only can he absorb the demonic miasma into his body, but he can pass the plague on to others as well. He also claims to have gained a glimpse into their psyche when doing so, relived their memories, so to speak. If this is true, then it would seem this man has been blessed with both eternal life and unlimited wisdom. He's practically a god in his own right. Huh. Is that an imp? Yes, I think those are imps. Activate the device. Imps in a cage.
Given the demon's aversion to light, they typically stick to the shadows until the sun fades and the night falls. Adagium, however, is different. Unlike his demon brethren, he can still function uninhibited in broad daylight. Of course, the ultraviolet rays harm him, much like they would any other demon. Yet his cells regenerate quickly enough to essentially negate the damage.
It stings. Like the light of the sun. Perhaps I'd best cover up.
Ah, so that's why he wears the hat. And has that dramatic outfit. That is apparently a resting spot. Don't think we need to save a rest and save just yet. Let's continue taking a look around.
Is our world?
Oh, geez. I'll come back to that. That looks like it might take a while. Oh, God. Every time. Combating Lucian magic. The Lucian soldiers' reliance on their monarch's magic is nothing new, nor do I expect the armed forces to switch up their strategy in the near future. It thus stands to reason that we ought to devise a plan to inhibit their abilities by whatever means necessary. I've given much thought to the idea of suppressing the Lucian's magic, and while it will be some time until we have a working prototype, I believe we should have a fully functioning jamming device added to our Magitech arsenal before long. Further combat data would certainly help speed along the development process, especially data related to the Divine. What a thrill it would be to take down a god using the form of one of their helpers. Huh. Cosmogony!
At center, we see what I presume to be Lucian warriors and the kings of yore. I've learned a great deal about the first king of Lucis, but I never knew he was second in line. It seems to depict a legend in which the chosen king dispels the darkness.
Yes.
If that's true, does that mean Lucis intends to someday stand above all others?
That wasn't really.
Their trifling tales mean nothing in the face of our superior technology. Only we can
the
restore
arrogance.
balance to our world. At the top of the painting, we see the Oracle herself. The bloodline of the Oracle is one of the oldest in Eos, originating with Eromirus Flore. Only they possess the power to commune with the gods. This painting depicts the Oracle as some goddess of light herself. She'd doubtless prove a powerful ally if she could be persuaded.
They don't try that though, do they? They just basically capture Luna. Hexathian!
On the sides of the frame, we see the Hexathian. Conspicuously absent is the traitorous god of fire who started the Great War of old.
Yeah.
Perhaps developing a deeper understanding of the demons will bring us closer to comprehending their divine counterparts. But what if I were to find a way to combine those two disparate elements?
We found out a bit more about that in the Royal Edition of Final Fantasy XV, where extra bits were added, especially about the Glacian and about Ifrit at the end.
By my estimation, the grotesque creatures depicted here are likely demons. Could this mean these monsters will be harbingers of the apocalypse? If only we could find a way to harness their power for ourselves.
Typical Final Fantasy Imperials.
The line of Lucis was chosen to eradicate evil from Eos. And with the Divine on their side, how could they fail?
But fail they did. That is a door, which we cannot get through. Another journey. Oh, and again, I've done it. It's this one. The Messengers. Ah, yes. While few written records referencing the divine host of messengers remain, our excavatory expedition to Tailpar Crag has uncovered some interesting information via word of mouth while investigating the surrounding area. Based on what we've heard, the demigods fought alongside the deities they served in the War of the Astrals, with the followers of the traitorous Infernian being all but erased from the annals of history after suffering defeat at the hands of the gods. Little else is known about the messengers, but I'm determined to discover more about these fascinating creatures. So this is, in many ways, just, again, rounding out stuff that, let's be honest, should have been in the main game. The Draconian. Of all the gods above, the least is known about the Draconian. Neither a tutelary... I read that as Turkey, for some reason. Neither a Turkey deity. Neither a tutelary deity, nor a regular fixture in written records. The Blade Keeper has left behind nary a trace save for his name. Some legends suggest he selected a king to lead Lucis and bestowed upon the chosen one... chosen one, the fabled ring and crystal. In my opinion, it all sounds like the type of tall tale the royal family might concoct to justify their hold on power, but perhaps we can explore the matter in more depth by paying a visit to the Lucian's confidants in Tenebrae. Of course, we know that there is a good chunk of truth. The Rock of Ravato. Acting on a tip we received from a friend in the private sector, we have sent an excavator expedition to the top of the Rock of Ravato. Unlike the immovable Archean at the Disk of Corthus, the body of the Infernian should be unobstructed and ready for transport, assuming our team can reach the peak, that is. Legends say the Infernian bestowed the gift of fire upon mankind in antiquity, and this burning wisdom helped forge the foundation of what became the civilization of Solheim. And now with the fabled flame within my grasp, I take my first step towards divinity. It is a wondrous day indeed. Was that one? The Dragon of Tailpar. The team we dispatched to Tailpar Crag has returned with a fascinating report. Their landing craft came under assault by a flying dragon as soon as they entered the valley. Hearing their story, I could not help but recall a passage I once read about the legendary Blade Master, which stated he guarded the Founder King with his glaive in hand and his dragon at his side. This would mean the creature they encountered has been guarding that gorge for nearly 2 millennia, and if one of these Lucian legends has proven true, then perhaps the kingdom's fairy tales are more than mere rumours after all. Even the whispers about the Undying. Right, let's... This may take a while. The birth of our star.
Estimated that Eos came into existence some 4.5 billion years
That's
ago.
about analogous with Earth.
Ancient myths tell tales of 6 protector gods who first alighted upon Eos in the ancient Solheim era. Fossils thought to be remains of the oldest members of the human race were discovered in the Pistala region.
Don't think that's been mentioned before.
Some claim that humans discovered fire in the Sukarp region even before the dawn of the Solheim civilization. According to legend, the fire god Ifrit first bestowed his burning wisdom upon a man who later sat the throne of Solheim. The mechanized civilization of Solheim is presumed to have originated in the Disgai and Klain regions. Exactly when the civilization rose and fell, however, remains the subject of much investigation.
Ancient history.
The enormous crevasse separating the regions of Klain and Disgai is known as Tailpar Crag. It is here that the War of the Astrals is said to have taken place. When Ifrit tried to reduce mankind to ash, the other gods fought back, and some claim this clash caused the collapse of Solheim.
Indeed.
It is said that Ifrit, having lost the War of the Astrals, was interred atop the Rock of Ravato.
I feel like I should know that.
After the war, the ice goddess Shiva allegedly sank into a deep slumber, nestled in the Goravas rift of Volup. To this day, no one knows what became of the blade god Bahamut.
I do.
The earth god Titan can be seen supporting the meteor at the heart of the Disk of Corthus in Disgai.
The meteor, of course, being what brought the Star Scourge with it in the first place.
As for the storm god Rama, legend has it he sealed himself away within Fosha Hollow in Disgai.
Fosha?
The sea goddess Leviathan disappeared in the wake of the war. Some say she swam below the waves, and slumbers beneath the city of Altisha.
Leviathan is female. I feel like I should know that as well.
Some 2,000 years ago, the gods granted Somnus Lucis Kylum 2 gifts. The sacred
That is not
stone and
Somnus.
ring. With these in hand, he founded the kingdom of Lucis. In the centuries since, Lucis has managed to expand its territory while struggling to suppress a parasitic plague. As of ME 722, Mors Lucis Kylum sits the throne as the 112th monarch of his line. Regis Lucis Kylum is King Mor's firstborn son.
So this is before even Regis.
To succeed his father. Angelgard, off the coast of Golden Key, is an uninhabited island that Lucians regard as sacred.
Well, it's not technically uninhabited, is it?
Texts tell of a monster known as Adagium supposedly sealed away within, but investigations into its existence have yet to provide conclusive evidence. Soon after the establishment of the Kingdom of Lucis, House Fulleré founded the nation of Tenebrae.
Tenebrae is a very pretty
Empire
place.
began its occupation of Tenebrae in ME 359, a move that was initially met with
It's a pity we didn't get to explore it very much.
In order to assuage the dissenters, the Empire preserved the Oracle's home of Fenestala Manor. This concession was partially
I
made for
imagine
political
if the
purposes.
Luna DLC
House
had
Fulleré
gone
enjoys
through,
close
we would have
ties
had
with
more
the
of that
Lucis.
mana to explore.
The Accordo Protectorate has developed into a bustling league of towns at the heart of maritime trade. In ME 606, the Empire won an important battle against the allied forces of Lucis and Accordo, and in turn, annexed the Protectorate. The country is steeped in traditions and cultures that are incompatible with imperial rule, so the Empire has permitted it a measure of relative political autonomy. Centuries after the founding of Lucis, a movement to revive the lost civilization of Solheim arose around the Weltham region.
Which is interesting because it's
Leading in charge
completely
was
the other
House
side of the map.
whose brave deeds brought about the rise of the Niflheim Empire. The Empire built upon Solheim's magic technology and employed it for military use. This new firepower helped the Empire fell its foes, taking Tenebrae in ME 359 and Accordo in ME 606. As of ME 722, under the direction of Emperor Aedalus Aldercat, the Empire is developing new arms fusing magitech with demons.
And that shall be its downfall.
Vestiges of the ancient Solheim civilization can still be seen in the ruins of Piteous and Steeleth Grove.
Yep, been there.
Several ancient structures also dot the forest of the Fall Grove that encircles Castlemark Tower.
And there.
Excavation of these various sites is currently underway. In ME 501, during an expedition in the Ulwat region,
That's a Naga, isn't it?
the Imperial Army discovered a new species known as demons.
You what? And that's your lot. Take a break and save your game at the sofa. Yes. Let's take a break. Ardyn, your posture is worse than mine, which is saying something. Okay, so far, we're 45 minutes in, or 37 minutes of gameplaying, because I talk too much. We've had a lot of information that, first of all, reminds me of things, because it's been a long time since I played the base game. And secondly, again, rounds out a lot of the tiny gaps in the story. Obviously, most of the game we saw from the point of view of Noctis and company. And there were only brief flashes of insight into the Empire's point of view. And in fact, the Empire's history really wasn't rounded out very much at all. So this is an interesting addition to rounding out that story. As well as, of course, giving us more on Ardyn. Yes, let's save our progress. Right, I'm assuming that this is... That's a couch that I can't move past. Angel Guard.
Adagium. That is what the Lucians call the monster they imprisoned for
That's me.
2,000 long years. His powers surpass those of any mortal, and his body is all but impervious to attack. It's no wonder the Founder King sealed him away on the Isle of Angel.
But why?
He undoubtedly feared this monster might challenge his reign.
Huh.
It seems fortune smiles upon me. Though the Lucians kept him locked away for 2,000 years, I've managed to secure Adagium for myself. The raging winds and stormy seas may have cast all others away.
Was it literally just luck?
For me that day
or fate?
While I've yet to conduct any official research, the potential he proved in combat was most promising. I estimate his powers easily surpass anything mankind has ever seen. Perhaps this streak of luck has just begun.
Huh.
Fascinating, isn't it? I pored over the ancient texts and found scarcely a mention of you. I barely believed you existed till I saw you with my own eyes. With your help, my research is proceeding smoothly. You have my thanks.
Cheers. Okay. You're welcome.
This must be how the gods feel looking down upon our world. Here we have a model of imperial territory. It includes our present lands as well as our future acquisitions. Feel free to have a look.
I have. Thank you, though.
There's something you should see. Come with me. I found something most interesting on the Rock of Ravito. If my experiment on this specimen succeeds, it might provide the information you've been looking for. This way.
Is this going to be Ifrit? Or something else entirely? Am I in your way? Yes. It is going to be Ifrit.
Is that?
Ifrit the Infernian.
Not dead.
Subjugated a god and brought him here?
He was sound asleep, just like the legend said he'd be, so we put him on ice. Do you think you could turn him
into a demon?
If you managed to demonify a deity, you could learn truths no mere mortal could ever dream of knowing. You'll access 2,000 years of his memories, and if you can control him, he'll be a weapon of supreme power. It's certainly an enticing offer, isn't it? Just think you could exact sweet revenge through divine retribution.
Ha!
How do you know what I want?
I don't, but I know you have no other options. Well, shall we? Come see the fruits of my magitech research. This way. The ancient civilization of Solheim, forefathers of our magic technology, once flourished on this land. Had they not incurred the wrath of the gods, they may have remained prosperous to this day.
And you wish to restore them to greatness?
To surpass them, which is why I need you to lend me your strength. But I'm certain magic technology and demons are the keys to unlocking the door to a new future.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not a very it's not a very pleasant one. However, right, we're going to leave that episode there, and we shall continue onwards with this next time. Really enjoying this. I know it's not fast paced or exciting in the sense that it's, you know, full of action and special effects and stuff, but it's story that rounds out some of those many tiny gaps in Final Fantasy XV's lore, and to me that is more exciting and more interesting than just a bunch of padded out battle sequences and so on and so forth. I'm sure there will be plenty of those, but this is the kind of stuff that I play video games for in the first place. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the first chapter and a bit of episode Ardyn, and I will hopefully catch you all in the next one. Toodle pip. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. Remember to ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.